Hey everyone, welcome back to Eloquent English. I'm Helen.
And I'm Carl. Today's episode is one I'm really excited about because it's not just about learning English words. It's about telling your story.
Right, we're talking about how to introduce your country's culture in English. Whether you're chatting with a new friend abroad, giving a presentation, or just making small talk, knowing how to share your culture can make you feel proud and connected.
And here's the thing. If you can do this well, people won't just remember your English. They'll remember you.
Exactly. We'll give you useful phrases, real examples, and some role play practice. We'll cover everything from talking about your native language to describing family life, beliefs, food, and even politics.
Plus, I'm going to share one story about a traveler who introduced his culture so well, he got invited to a wedding in a country he'd never been to before. You'll hear that later in the episode.
Oh yes, you'll want to stay for that. And don't worry, we're keeping it simple. Perfect for A2, B1 learners. You'll hear the phrases, repeat them, and use them in realistic conversations.
So, grab a notebook or just get ready to speak along with us. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to confidently introduce your country's culture in English and maybe even teach someone something new. So, let's start with the basics, your native language. This is usually one of the first things people are curious about.
Yes, you can keep it simple. For example, my native language is Vietnamese. Or, I speak Spanish as my first language.
And if you want to give a bit more detail, you can say, it's spoken by about 100 million people, or it's used in both daily life and business.
A useful pattern is, my native language is blank. It's spoken in blank by about blank people. Example, my native language is Thai. It's spoken in Thailand by about 70 million people.
You can also share something interesting about it. Like, in my language, we have different words for older and younger siblings.
Or, my language uses a different alphabet. It's very beautiful but tricky for beginners. This makes your answer more memorable.
Common mistake alert. Many learners say mother tongue language, but mother tongue already means native language. Just say, my mother tongue is, or my native language is.
Let's try a quick mini dialogue. Scene. You're sitting next to someone on a long train ride in another country.
Hi, I'm Carl. Where are you from?
I'm from Morocco. My native language is Arabic.
Oh, I've heard Arabic has many different accents. Is that true?
Yes. In Morocco, we speak a dialect called Darija. It's a little different from the Arabic in Egypt or Saudi Arabia.
That's fascinating. How many people speak your dialect?
Around 30 million people in Morocco, but we also understand Standard Arabic, which is used in the news and schools.
So, do children learn both at school?
Yes, and we also learn French because of our history. Many signs and menus are written in both languages.
Let's move on to talking about family and social structure, another topic people are curious about.
Right. In English, you can start simply. In my country, most families are big. Or, families here are usually small, with 1 or 2 children. And then you can add details about how families live together. For example, in my country, it's common for 3 generations to live in the same house. Young people usually move out when they go to university.
You can also talk about the roles of family members. For instance, grandparents often take care of the children while parents work.
A useful phrase is, In our culture, we usually, or it's traditional for us to, these help you explain habits without sounding too general.
And here's something many learners forget. You can compare with other countries politely. Unlike in some countries, this makes your answer richer.
Let's try a slightly more complex dialogue so you can see how to use these phrases. Scene: you're talking to a new colleague at an international conference during lunch break.
So, what's family life like in your country?
In my country, families are usually quite large. It's common for parents, children, and grandparents to live together.
Oh, so 3 generations in one house.
Yes, sometimes even uncles and aunts live in the same building. It's a way to stay close and support each other.
That must make family gatherings very lively.
Definitely. In our culture, we usually have big Sunday lunches with traditional dishes and everyone sharing stories.
Do young people move out early?
Not usually. Many stay at home until they get married or save enough to buy a house. Housing is expensive in the cities.
I see. So, family members help each other financially too.
Yes, it's very common. We believe taking care of each other is part of our responsibility. See how this conversation slowly reveals different layers: living arrangements, traditions, economy, and values, all through simple English.
And the key is adding those little extra details that make your answer memorable. Now, let's talk about beliefs, religions, and practices. This can be a sensitive topic, so it's important to use polite and respectful language.
A safe way to start is, in my country, the main religion is, or most people here believe in. You can also say some people follow if there's more than one belief system.
You can add details about traditions linked to these beliefs. For example, we celebrate Lunar New Year with family gatherings and special meals. During Ramadan, many people fast from sunrise to sunset.
And you can talk about values or principles connected to your culture. Like, in our tradition, respect for elders is very important.
Be careful not to make big generalizations like everyone in my country, because cultures are often diverse. It's better to say many people in my country.
Let's practice with a more complex conversation that includes different beliefs and customs. Scene: you're sharing a table with a tourist at a cultural festival.
This festival is amazing. What's it for?
It's part of our New Year's celebration, which is based on the lunar calendar. Many people here follow Buddhism, so we also visit temples to pray for good luck.
Oh, so it's a religious event.
Yes, but it's also cultural. Even people who are not Buddhist join the celebrations.
That's interesting. Are there other major religions here?
Yes, we also have communities of Christians and Muslims. They have their own celebrations, and everyone respects each other's traditions.
I love that. Do you have any personal traditions?
In my family, we always cook a special soup on New Year's Eve. It's a way to start the year with warmth and unity.
Notice how this answer gives both general facts and personal experiences. It makes the conversation warmer.
Exactly. And when you share a personal tradition, it helps the listener connect with you emotionally. Let's move to arts and literature. This is a wonderful way to show the creativity of your country.
You can begin simply, "We have a rich tradition of," or "Our country is famous for." For example, our country is famous for its traditional dance and folk music.
Then add details. You could say, we have many famous writers, such as, or our traditional paintings often show scenes from daily life.
If you're talking about literature, keep it clear. one of our most famous novels is this, or this poem is taught in every school.
And don't forget to use descriptive words to make your answer more colorful. Words like beautiful, lively, emotional, inspiring.
Here's a more complex mini dialogue, so you can see how to mix facts with your personal feelings. Scene: you're chatting with a classmate after an art exhibition.
I loved those paintings. Are they from your country?
Yes, they're examples of our traditional watercolor style. We have a rich tradition of painting nature and village life.
That's beautiful. Do you also have famous writers?
Definitely. One of our most famous poets is Nguyen Du, who wrote a long poem called The Tale of Q. It's very emotional and is taught in every school.
Wow, that must be important in your culture.
Yes. In our culture, arts and literature often reflect our history and values. For example, many songs talk about family, love, and the countryside.
I'd love to read one of those poems in English.
Sure. Some have been translated, so I can recommend a book to you.
See how the answers combined facts, emotions, and offers to share more? That's how you keep a cultural conversation alive.
And it shows you're open to connecting through your culture, which people really appreciate. Now, let's talk about food habits and traditions, a topic almost everyone loves.
Yes, food is a fantastic way to introduce your culture. You can start with, one of our most popular dishes is, or in my country, we usually eat. You can also describe how and when people eat. For example, we usually have a light breakfast and a big lunch. Or, dinner is the most important meal of the day.
And you can mention traditions around food. For example, during the Mid-Autumn Festival, we eat mooncakes to celebrate.
Just remember to use sensory words, sweet, sour, crunchy, soft, to make your listener imagine the food. Scene: you're sitting with a new friend in a cooking class abroad. The instructor just asks everyone to share a dish from their country.
So, what's your favorite food from your country?
I'd say pho. It's a noodle soup with beef or chicken, fresh herbs, and a clear, flavorful broth.
That sounds delicious. When do people usually eat it?
Many people have it for breakfast, but you can find pho shops open all day. It's especially popular in the early morning when the air is still cool.
Is it spicy?
Not really, but you can add chili sauce, sliced chili, or even lime for extra flavor. Everyone adjusts it to their own taste.
I like that. Is it difficult to make?
The broth takes time. Sometimes we simmer it for 6 to 8 hours. My grandmother says that's how you get the deep flavor.
Wow. So, are there other special food traditions in your country?
Yes. During Lunar New Year, we make bun chung, a square, sticky rice cake with pork and green beans. It's a family event. We wash the leaves, wrap the cake, and cook it together overnight.
That must be a lot of work.
It is, but it's also fun. We talk, tell stories, and sometimes sing while waiting for the cakes to cook. See, by adding small personal details, you make your food story not just tasty, but emotional and memorable.
And those personal touches are what really connect people to your culture. Politics and economy might sound like serious topics, but they're part of culture too, and you can talk about them simply without getting into arguments.
Exactly. You can start with a neutral fact, like, my country is a republic with a president, or we have a parliamentary system. For economy, you can say, our main industries are, or tourism is an important part of our economy.
You can also add a little about how these systems affect daily life. For example, because agriculture is important, many festivals celebrate harvest time. The key is to keep it respectful and balanced, especially if you're talking to people from different backgrounds. Scene: you're at an international student gathering and someone is curious about how your country works. What kind of government does your country have?
It's a socialist republic with a single-party system. The president is the head of state, and the prime minister manages daily government affairs.
Interesting. So, do people vote?
Yes, we have elections for the National Assembly, which is our highest lawmaking body.
And what's the economy like?
We have a mixed economy: agriculture, manufacturing, and services. In recent years, tourism has grown a lot, especially in coastal cities.
Do politics affect your daily life much?
Not directly for most people, but government policies can influence things like education, healthcare, and business opportunities.
Sounds like your country is developing quickly.
Yes, the economy is growing, but we also face challenges like keeping traditions while modernizing.
See how that answer was factual, balanced, and even hinted at cultural identity?
Yes, and it leaves space for the other person to ask more questions, which keeps the conversation flowing naturally. Now, let's tackle some common questions and challenges learners face when talking about their culture in English.
These are based on real-life situations where people sometimes feel stuck or awkward, but we'll give you ways to handle them naturally. FAQ 1. I'm worried my accent will make people not understand me. What should I do?
Your accent is part of your identity. Don't be ashamed of it.
True. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Slow down a little, stress important words, and use gestures if needed. If someone doesn't understand, you can say, "Let me say that another way," or "It's like," and give an example. FAQ 2. What if I don't know the exact English word for something in my culture? Describe it using simple words. For example, if you can't remember the word pagoda, you can say it's a tall, traditional religious building, usually with many curved roofs.
And sometimes you can keep the original word and explain it. This teaches the listener something new. FAQ 3. What if the other person asks about politics or religion, but I'm uncomfortable? You can give a short, neutral answer and change the focus. For example, our country has a multi-party system, but I'm not very involved in politics. What about your country?
Or for religion. Many people here follow Buddhism, but we also have other religions. What's common in your country?
FAQ 4. How do I keep the conversation going if I run out of ideas? Always prepare a few go-to questions. Some good ones are: what's the most popular food in your country? Do you have a holiday that's similar to ours? What's your favorite place to visit in your country? FAQ 5. What if the listener makes a wrong assumption about my culture?
Correct politely. For example, actually, it's a little different. Or, that used to be true, but now it's changing.
This way, you keep the tone friendly while giving the right information.
If you keep these answers in mind, you'll feel more confident even in tricky conversations.
And remember, you're not just teaching English, you're teaching the world about you. All right, for our final section, we've got something special: the Cultural Conversation Challenge.
Here's how it works. We'll pretend you're in an interview or meeting a curious traveler. We'll ask you 10 rapid-fire questions about your culture. Your job: answer in full sentences, give a bit of extra detail, and, if possible, ask a follow-up question.
This will train you to think fast, speak clearly, and keep a conversation alive.
Question 1. What's your native language, and is it difficult to learn?
Question 2. Can you describe a typical family structure in your culture?
Question 3. What's one belief or practice that's unique to your country?
Question 4. Which religions are most common where you live?
Question 5. What's your favorite work of art or piece of literature from your country?
Question 6. What's a traditional food people should try if they visit your country?
Question 7. How would you describe your political system?
Question 8. What's the current economic situation like?
Question 9. What's one festival or celebration that shows your culture best?
If I only had 3 days in your country, where should I go?
Remember, your answers don't need to be long, but they should be vivid and personal. Imagine you're painting a picture with your words.
And the follow-up question is your secret weapon. It makes the other person feel included, and it turns a short exchange into a real conversation.
If you can answer all 10 confidently, congratulations! You're ready to be a cultural ambassador in English.
And even if you stumble, that's fine. Every conversation is practice, and every story you tell helps people understand your world a little better.